Well, howdy there, my partners. We are here in Austin, Texas at an RV park, and we're actually going to stay here for another day, so I get to explore Austin a little bit. Did a little exploring last night and intend to do a little bit more today. So we're here doing the lessons of A Course in Miracles, and today I'm going to do lesson number 338 with you. I am affected only by my thoughts. It needs but this to let salvation come to all the world. For in this single thought is everyone released at last from fear. Now has he learned that no one frightens him, and nothing can endanger him. He has no enemies, and he is safe from all external things. I was going to say beings. Maybe that too. His thoughts can frighten him. But since these thoughts belong to him alone, he has the power to change them and exchange each fear thought for a happy thought of love. He crucified himself, yet God has planned that his beloved Son will be redeemed. And our prayer for this lesson: your plan is sure, my Father, only yours, and all other plans will fail. And I will have thoughts that will frighten me until I learn that you have given me the only thought that leads me to salvation. Mine alone will fail and lead me nowhere. But the thought you gave me promises to lead me home because it holds your promise to your Son. And that is lesson 338. Another thing that we definitely need to hear and practice: I am affected only by my thoughts. Only by my thoughts. So basically that means to me that there are a lot of things that appear to be happening, but they come through my processing system, which is my mind. And my mind gives meaning where meaning isn't necessarily needed. And then based on that meaning, I have a feeling or a reaction or a response to something going on. So I'm affected only by my thoughts tells me that I really need to pay attention to my thoughts. And as they come in, I have to have discernment. What is real or good information and what can just kind of float away and have me notice that it's pointing toward a deeply held belief that I have or something that I might be unconscious of. I am only affected by my thoughts. Ugh. It's like, it's good news and bad news at the same time. Okay, let's see what A Year of Forgiveness has to say about this lesson. Lesson 338, I'm only affected by my thoughts. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one you know as Jesus. This is one of the most important lessons you can truly take home and use daily to relieve yourself from suffering. It is only your thoughts that cause you pain. When you judge other people, you feel pain. When you decide that the world is ending, you feel pain. Anytime you view something and make an untrue or unloving judgment, you feel pain. From this day forth, truly understand that all your suffering is self-created. When you feel bad, you've had an unloving thought about yourself, someone else, some place, a thing, or an experience, past, future, or present. You've had an unloving thought. What a wonderful lesson this is. It means that you are the captain of your destiny. You can choose from this day forth to be happy in all ways at all times. You can do that. It is merely an art of discipline. And something just came to mind. I started watching a few other Ken Wapnick videos. He's a really amazing Course in Miracles teacher. And he said sometimes we take what the Course says a little too seriously. So I'm only affected by my thoughts, to me, feels kind of heavy. Like, oh my God, I am the cause of all my suffering. Geez, and I have like a very recent memory of kind of feeling suffering. And it's like, oh, that was my fault. I caused it. So you start to get into that thought loop as a Course student. And you want to know what's underneath, what's the thought, what needs to be healed. I think what Ken Wapnick's point was is that sometimes we just have to be in this human condition and just have these experiences. This is why we're here. We've taken this little portion of our higher self, our soul, our full true self, shoved it into a little body, forgotten everything that we really have ever learned from a spiritual standpoint, and then came into this earth plane to do God only knows what. So to relax and know these things, but don't beat yourself over the head with these things. So that's what I'm going to do for myself today. I'm not going to go back to a few days ago or go back to whatever and beat myself up for causing my own suffering. That is not the point of this. It's just to know it and to have these lessons kind of floating in your mind, and they're available for you so that when you do go into suffering, if you're not able to notice that you caused it, then when you're reflecting a little bit later, it helps release the charge and probably the pain feeling, because you get to look at it from this space of, oh, okay, there's things going on in my mind that I'm actually creating, but I don't have to act on this. I don't have to respond to this. I don't have to change anything unless I want to. If you want to add more love, more compassion, more patience, more forgiveness into your life because of a thought that you have, great. But it doesn't mean that you're a bad Course in Miracles student or that you're failing. I feel like I get that feeling sometimes, and I have to hear that come up and let it go. Just float by like a cloud. Not going to take that on. Okay, back to the reading. We understand that you have beliefs that cause you to make judgments that seem to be unconscious. They are not unconscious. Even though you are so trained that you are unaware of the choice, you are always choosing what to do. But as you become stronger and stronger in this practice, you will see that you can direct your mind wherever you wish. And in that moment, you will see, yes, I do not need to have this thought. I can choose another one, and I will choose another one because this one makes me feel bad. The bad feeling is telling me I am off track. It is unloving. It is not God's will for me to think this way. God would not think this way. And I am made in the image of God. I will not think this way either. I will allow myself to return to peace. In that peace, you will be able to access information that you cannot access in the low frequencies of judgment, just as when this being, Tina, did her forgiveness work intensively and repeatedly, she began to be able to access this information. It was not a conscious choice. It was not a conscious choice on her part. She did not do her forgiveness practice with any ulterior motive other than we bring her peace. Other than to bring her to peace. She brought herself to peace. Okay. In that, she rose above the battleground and became, we will say, qualified to do this work. If you love this work and you would like to become qualified to do your part in the ascension teachings, then do your forgiveness practice and it will come to you. It will come to you. It will come to you. Okay. I am that one you know as Jesus, and we will speak to you tomorrow. Do your forgiveness practice and it will come to you. Okay, so try to let yourself off the hook today as you're reading this lesson and contemplating in your meditation practice, however you reflect on this, or whatever happens in your day after you hear this material or read this material. Yes, I am affected only by my thoughts, but I'm also here to observe and learn and experience. And there's this idea also that's coming up for me is contrast. And when you know that you've had tough times before and you've been hard on yourself or you've been hard on others or whatever the case is, there are plenty of good days that you can reflect on also. And maybe thinking about that, like what made those days so good? Was it really anything other than your own internal attitude and approach to that day, to that experience? What made that thing good? I mean, if we're affected only by our thoughts, it goes in all directions, in all ways that we feel. So yeah, have fun with this. Enjoy. Don't be too hard on yourself. And I'm going to have a good time in Austin today, and I will be back to talk to you again tomorrow.